60 to 90 days ago, everything was selling.
Everything was selling. 9 reasons why your property hasn't sold. Let's talk about this. Number 1, because your photos are no good. Folks, I can't tell you how many times that I see new listings coming on the MLS, and the photos are dark, or they're blurry, or they're not taken by a professional photography company. That could very well be one of the reasons why your property hasn't sold. The photos are the first thing any potential buyer is going to see. They have to be, in my opinion, they have to be done professionally, high def, and they have to be crystal clear, and they need to represent what the property is.
Your first showing to every buyer that's out there, every potential buyer that's out there, is online. Your first showing is online. Your first showing is those pictures. If you want them to swipe right, have good pictures. Swipe left, put the blurry dark ones on there. Boom, it's off their search. It's out of their mind. Completely lost any chance with that potential buyer. These pictures got to grab their attention because you're going to have 3 to 5 seconds as they're flipping through their potential listings to grab their eye to be like, oh, that looks like a nice one. Let's click into it. Let's look further into it. That's what you got to get out of those pictures.
Number 2, it's overpriced. It is overpriced, folks. I know. In the last 2 years, sellers have wanted to be aggressive on the price. Even during the last 2 years, we have advised our sellers not to overprice it, to list your home at market. Even when the market was as hot as it was and we saw all these multiple offers, even in that super hot seller market, overpricing it will likely hurt you. It will likely yield a lesser sale price than if you price it right and potentially get multiple offers, or as the market has shifted, price it right so that you get an offer. If you're overpriced in today's market, you're not going to get an offer.
Nope.
Okay, and we've seen more price reductions in the last 30 days than probably the previous 20 combined. And so why is that? Well, 1, because people are overpricing their properties. 2, because they're pushing those values because we're coming out of that super hot seller market. But it's number 2 on the list why your property hasn't sold. It's because it's overpriced.
You get the most for your home when you get multiple offers.
Yes.
You got it. If you can drive multiple offers, then people get competitive in nature. Then they start messing, then they get in there inside their own minds. Well, what's the other person going to offer? We got to make sure we go higher than that other person so that we can get it because we really like this house. And that's how you get this whole where it's going up. That's how you get the most for your home. When you overprice it, you don't get multiple offers.
No.
You might not even get an offer.
You probably won't get an offer.
And then as soon as you see price reductions go,
oh, what's wrong with it?
Exactly.
Why are they reducing it?
Why didn't that one sell?
Yeah.
It's the whole mind game. It's the whole mindset. So if you can go in at market price and you have an aggressive marketing plan together, you get multiple offers, that's how you're going to get the most for your house.
Yes. Number 3, because it shows badly. This could mean almost anything, but Overson, your 120-pound Rottweiler barking and drooling at potential buyers from behind the filthiest child gate to the lingering smell of a 30 years of smoking. These might be reasons why your house hasn't sold.
Is this actually what's written on this?
That's a pretty extreme.
Well, it actually says 60-pound Rottweiler, but I moved it up to 120.
Okay,
More dramatic.
Who's going to leave their dog at home during a showing?
It happens. I mean, it happens. We show homes all the time where we go in and it's just this obnoxious barking. Maybe it's a large dog or maybe it's a little yippy dog. It's distracting. It's distracting. And so if your home shows poorly, it doesn't show well, a buyer will have a very difficult time imagining living there, imagining that being their home. It's got to show well. Number 4, because your property is invisible. Today's buyers come from the internet. We talk about this all the time. Is your property marketed properly? Is it on all of the different home buying websites? When you list your home with us, Walgrave Real Estate Group, your home goes on over 2,000 home buying websites within the first few days of being on the market. You have to expose your property. One of the reasons that we're able to sell homes for the highest amount in the quickest time is because we expose it to the most potential buyers in the market. And so number 4 on the list is because your property is invisible. Nobody knows about it. Number 5, because your listing is tired and stale on the market. Actually, it says Overson, the dust floats through the sunshine through the dirty windows. This happens often in vacant homes where the sellers have already moved, the home is vacant. If you have a vacant home and there's not someone living there, you got to send in someone to take a look at the house every 10 days or 2 weeks. Dust, vacuum. If it feels like it is stale or it's just been sitting there, that's definitely a turnoff to buyers. They have a hard time, again, envisioning that being their home, and it just doesn't send the message that the home has been cared for.
Yep.
Your number 6, because your home won't appraise. And this kind of goes back to it falls in line with the overpricing. If you have a property that will not appraise, so let's say, for example, you've got a property out in the middle of nowhere, and maybe it's unique and it's got all of these really cool features, but there's no comparables. If it is a buyer that is interested, but they have to do financing, which most buyers do, and if they don't believe that it will appraise, that could be one of the 9 reasons why your property hasn't sold. Number 7, because it is unavailable to show. Folks, the more available your property is to show potential buyers, the more likely it's going to sell and sell quicker. Look, I know there's exceptions, and a lot of people work from home these days, and we have kids and pets and all those different things, but that is number 7 on the list because it is unavailable to show. Number 8, because you have the heat and power turned off. And I laugh about it, but it happens. It's shocking to me in the winter. If we're looking at a property that's probably vacant, and the heat's off, if you're walking through that property as a buyer, all you can think about is how darn cold you are.
I can see my breath.
But that's number 8 on the list. And then number 9, number 9, you live next door to the Flintstones. I'm talking about the family who has a car without the engine in the front yard. And we've talked about this. We get calls on this about every few months. If your neighbor has a rough looking property or they got a ton of stuff, your neighbor could be the reason why your home hasn't sold. I've showed homes before and my clients walked in, they said, love the house, love the lot. There's no way I'm living next to that guy.